Hey everybody, it's Eric here, and you guys may be wondering, wait a minute, these aren't Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and you will be right, unless you're blind. Then why the heck are you just watching this? I doubt you want to listen to the sound of my voice. Yep. Anyway, yeah, I'm showing off the only Magic deck I have. Just letting you guys know beforehand, if you want to see me play Magic on this channel, it won't be for a very long time, since no one else that I know plays Magic or has like interest in Magic other than like one other person. That person doesn't even have a deck. But yeah. So I'm going to be showing you guys off this Magic deck that I have, which I've bought off from one of my friends who used to go to my high school. So yeah, this is a white, black, green enchantment creature deck with this dude, as well as, I believe, main focus? I'm not really sure. I don't really play Magic enough to really know the main focuses of this deck, but I still know how this deck plays, and I really enjoy the deck itself. But yeah, I guess we should start getting into this. Unlike some of my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, which I expect people to know most of the stuff that I have, this time I'm really going to explain some of the effects that these guys have, because some of you guys probably won't know. Anyway, starting off, I should really talk about the let's get this out of the way easily. I have I believe, if I counted correctly, 27 land, with majority of it being black, second being white, and the last being green. Well, yeah, since you need land to get the mana for the cost of for all the cards in your deck. So yeah, white, black, green. So yeah. Anyway, let's get starting with some of the. I'll start going through some of the black cards. For you guys who don't know, black is most known for death and stuff like that. So we're gonna be talking. So just so you guys know, these guys really have to do a lot with killing creatures. Doesn't matter if they're your own or your opponent's. Anyway, this first guy's name, he's the boss of my black mana, Doom Wake Giant with Constellation, which I believe is the entire thing with these enchantment creatures, who are also enchantments and creatures. Whenever he enters this field, or any enchantment enters this field, it doesn't have to. It can be like a spell enchantment, or it can be an enchantment creature. When it falls, it has to be one of your cards. All your opponent's monsters or creatures get -1/-1, which means they lose 1 attack and lose 1 health. So yeah, Lead's pretty powerful when you bring out all of guys. Then the second dude I have here is Darth Threader Lamia, I believe is how you pronounce it. Her special enchantment creature thing is that whenever she enters... Oh yeah, just so you guys know this. All enchantment creatures have a thing where if they enter the field, once they enter the field, or once another enchantment, it can be enchantment creature or a regular enchantment spell enters the field, they do a thing. What she does is that when an enchantment enters the field under your control, any opponent that you're facing, since in Magic I'm pretty sure you can face multiple opponents, they have to discard a card. So this one's pretty good. I have 2 of it. I'm just telling you this now. The deck was pre-constructed for me, so yeah, with the person who played Magic. So yeah. And then I have 2 of this Dreadbringer Lampetus, which enchantment creature effect is whenever enchantment enters the field under your control, you can target one of your creatures, engage Intimidate. Intimidate means that it cannot be blocked, so you can just swing at your opponent directly. You can just swing with Carefree and stuff like that. So that's cool. Next I have this Grim Guardian. Whenever an enchantment enters the field, your opponent loses 1 life. So if you summon out a bunch of enchantments, if you bring out a bunch of enchantments at the same time you have him out in the field, your opponent's going to be slowly chipping down away from their 20 life. So he's good. He's a good starter since he's only white 1, black 2. So yeah. The last black enchantment creature I have is Archetype of Fatality, who's pretty costly. It's a Gorgon, And it doesn't have an enchantment creature effect like a constellation like the others. Instead, it has all of your creatures you control gain Death Touch. Death Touch means whenever they deal any amount of damage that they do is lethal. So it doesn't matter if it's like a huge giant creature with a ton of health and a ton of attack, it's still gonna kill it. If it blocks it or if it like swings and it gets blocked. Also, creatures your opponent controls lose Death Touch and can't have or gain Death Touch. So if your opponent has Death Touch, they can't. All the creatures are no longer Death Touch creatures anymore. So that's always good. And then the last, then I have this 4F creature, who is Pink Tara's Choosing, which has a simple effect, which is Death Touch. As already explained before, any amount of damage it does, it destroys the creature, and I have one as a 4F since it's only a 1 cost. So I can easily spam the field with them. And then I also have this guy, Artuner's River Traveler. He's not an enchantment creature, but he does have an effect involving enchantment creatures. So, let me fix myself for a moment. So whenever he enters the field, you can target an enchantment creature card in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. So if any of your enchantment creatures are in the graveyard, if you want them back, you can just bring him out. You can just summon him out. He's a 1 black, 2 of anything, and you can get that guy back. And if you have enough mana, you can summon it back out. He also has a second effect where you pay a white mana, you sacrifice him, means that you tribute him off, and you return a target enchantment creature from your graveyard to your hand. So if you pay one of your white, if you pay a white mana cost, if you tap one of your white lands, you can to tribute him off to get back another dude. So if you wanted to on the same turn, I believe, no, I don't think you can do it on the same turn. I'm not sure. I think you can do it on the same turn he summoned. When you summon him out, you get an enchantment creature, and then you can tap one of your white lands and then get back another one. No one has a 2-of. And then finally, I have 3 black enchantments. I have this enchantment, Front of the Return. It has an effect where you pay 4 mana, 1 black and 3 of any color, to sacrifice it and target 3 creatures in your graveyard, add them back to your hand. It's pretty good. You get 3 creatures back, and can be a regular creature or an enchantment creature, so that's good. I have Cast into Darkness, which is an enchantment aura. Aura means that you equip it to any monster on the field, so this enchants a creatures mean that it makes a creature enchanted, of course, and that creature gets -2. It loses 2 attack, but it doesn't lose any health, and it cannot block. So that monster cannot block anymore, and if it wants to attack you, it's going to do less damage. And then the final aura I have is Aspect of the Gorgon. You enchant a creature, and then the enchanted creature gets +1 attack and +3 toughness or health, I believe, and then it gets Death Touch. So that's good. So those are all the black spells, black cards I have. So yeah. And now let's get into the second most prominent stuff, which is the white spell. I think I have more white than anything. I think, maybe, I'm not sure. I didn't really count these too well. But yeah. The boss that I have for the white is Celestial Archon. Yeah, he's an enchantment creature himself. He has a spell, an effect called Bestow, which if you cast, so you can either cast this as a creature or you can cast it as Bestow. Bestow means that it becomes an equipped spell. Basically an equipped spell, because all his spells are basically just equipped spells. In Magic, so you can either cast it as a regular creature or you can cast it as an aura, and then the enchanted creature gets +4/+4, and it gains flying and first strike. He already has the effect flying and first strike, so basically what happens is that, let's say you have this dude out. So you have this guy out, and you have enough mana to cast him. You can either cast him as a regular monster, and he does his regular flying first strike thing. Flying means that it's up in the air, and it can't be blocked by other creatures unless they have flying or they have reach. Reach means that it's a ground creature that can reach up and grab a flying creature. Also, it has first strike. First strike means that you attack first in a battle between creatures. Because in Magic, when creatures are battling each other, they attack each other at the same time. So this means that you attack first. So you can cast him as Bestow, which means that means basically what I like to imagine is that the person just hitches on the ride with him, and you gain basically just then you gain stuff, more attacks, because he already has 4 and 4 and he has flying first strike, so that creature just gets enhanced by him, which is always pretty good. I might have been rambling off a bit too much there, but I was trying my best to explain that. I have one of him. And then I have 2 of this guy called Lynx Flansram. He has a simple effect, and he's an enchantment creature too. At the beginning of your upkeep, gain 1 life. Upkeep just means the beginning of your turn. So at the beginning of your turn, you gain 1 life. For both. So yeah, it's always good. White is known for gaining life, so that's always good. So that's good. Next, I have this Harvest Guard Acelid, I believe it's called. It has the constellation effect that it has is when an enchantment enters the field, including itself, you can prevent any damage that would be dealt to you target one of your creatures and it cannot be dealt damage this turn. So yeah, that's good. It protects your creatures the turn it's summoned, or you summon any other enchantments with it. So yeah. Next I have Archetype of Courage. He's also another enchantment creature. All creatures it's just like the aspect. What was it called? Hold up, let me find it. It's just like the aspect of the. What was it? My bad. It's just like Archetype of Fatality. They both have archetype in the thing. Basically means that all your creatures gain the same an effect. So all your creatures gain first strike means that they always strike first. Also, any creatures that your opponent controls lose first strike and cannot gain first strike at all. Just like Archetype of Fatality, they lose the Death Touch and you gain Death Touch. You gain first strike and they lose the first strike. So that's always good. Next I have this Aegis of the Gods. He's an enchantment creature. His effect is that you gain hexproof. Means that you as the player cannot be targeted for spells or abilities by your opponent. So that's good. It protects yourself from other people, from your opponent who wants to target you directly. Next I have a Perseverance, which is an enchantment aura. You enchant a creature, and that enchanted creature cannot attack or block unless the controller pays 3 mana. Also, abilities of the creature cannot have to pay 3 more mana to activate them. So any creature that has an ability, just like as you saw with that Walker guy who has to pay 1 white mana, if he's equipped with this, he has to pay 3 more of any color mana. So it makes your opponent have to pay even more mana to activate an effect. Also, they can't attack unless they pay mana as well. So this is good to stop them from doing stuff. Next I have Dectorate of Heloded. It's an enchantment and it has the ability Flash. I'm not sure what Flash means. But creatures you control get +2/+2, which means that your creatures gain 2 more attack and 2 more defense, which is always good. Next I have this enchantment aura, which is Arthurian of Nyx. Sorry if I'm moving too much. I'm just trying to get comfortable in my position that I am right now. Sorry. Anyway, its effect is that enchantment creature gains double strike. As long as it is enchanted. Double strike, I believe, means that you can attack twice in the same battle, I believe. I'm not sure. No, wait, no, it's down here. In a creature with double strike deals first strike and regular combat damage, which means they attack first before the opponent, and then after that they still do more damage as well. So say that it's equipped. Let me get some monsters out to show it off. Say that you have your. Say you have 2 harvest. Say you have a harvester and your opponent has a harvester, and you already have this equipped onto it. When you attack with it and then your opponent blocks it, first it does first strike means you attack first, and if it's still living, then you guys do regular combat damage as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. I say it's pretty good. Next I have this enchantment, Font of Vigor. It has a simple thing, pay 2 of any mana and then a white mana, and you gain 7 life. way to gain more life. And then I have Whisper, which is an instant. Instants are just quick play spells that you can activate from your hand during your player's turn as long as you can pay the mana. And it destroys a creature with power of 4 or more. And it cannot be regenerated, means that it can't come back at all, I believe. So if your opponent has a very high attack point creature, you can just say no. You can't have that anymore. And then the final card I have is Pacifism. Pacifism makes the creature not be able to attack or block. And I have 4 of them because I love Pacifism. Anyway, that's enough with the white creatures and spells I have. Now on to the green ones. I don't have many green, since the main focus is on the black and the white. So here are some of my green. The boss of the green, or I believe it's the boss of the green because it's a hollow. Excuse me. It has the Eidolon of Blossoms. Yeah. It has the Constellation ability. Whenever it or another enchantment enters the field, you get to draw a card. So if you're able to summon out a bunch of enchantments, you can draw a bunch of cards. So that's good. Next I have Oakland of Dryads. It has the Constellation ability. When it or another enchantment enters the field, you can target the creature and it gets +1/+1, which means if you summon out a bunch of enchantments, you already have a creature out that does not have summoning sickness, it can get pretty beefy. Next I have Mischief and Mayhem. Also the greens are the only ones where I don't have enchantment spells. I have a bunch of sorceries. Sorceries are just regular spells that you play and then they leave the field. Enchantments, I forgot to explain, are like continuous spells in Magic. Anyway, a Mischief and Mayhem means effect is that you play you target up to 2 of your creatures and they get +4/+4 until the end of the turn. So you target 2 of your creatures and make them really beefy for attacking that turn, which is good. It's pretty high cost, but it's worth it. The next thing I have is Complex Insight. It's a spell that says reveal the top 6 cards of your library, which is your deck. Target 3 enchantment cards among them and add them to your hand. The rest go to the graveyard. So you use this so you can search out up to 3 enchantment creatures or enchantments that you have. I have 2 of them. And you do have ways to get stuff back from the your enchantment creature stuff back from the graveyard, but not a lot of stuff like land. So yeah, but I do have 2 of them. Next I have Aspects of the Hydra. It's a 1-cost mana, but its thing is that its effect is that target 1 creature you control, it gets +X until the end of the turn, where X is your devotion of green. That means that for each green in your mana cost of permanents you control counts to your devotion in green. What I believe that means is that how many green permanents are just any enchantments on the field or any monsters that you have on the field. So for the mana cost of all of them, for each one that is green that you control, it counts towards this. I have another card which also has something like that, but I'll go into it after this. And then the final one I have is an instant Mortal's Resolve. Target 1 creature and it gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible until the end of turn, which means it cannot be destroyed by damage or effects. So yeah. That's all of the green stuff that I have. Now finally I have these guys are a mix of both black and white. I don't have many of them, but I do have who I believe is the main boss of this deck, which is Arthurios, God of Passage. He's a legendary and enchantment creature god. He's indestructible, means that he cannot be destroyed at all. And as long as your devotion to white and black is less than 7, which means that all your creatures, all your mana that whose black and white costs, and the total of the black and white costs of them are less than 7, he isn't a creature, which means that you won't be able to attack with him. So you have to have more than 7 creatures or enchantments that have the black costs and white costs, which are more than 7. And whenever another creature you control dies, return it to the hand. You immediately return it to your hand unless your opponent pays 3 life. So if you're blocking, so if you're like blocking a bunch of your opponent's monsters and all your monsters die, then you immediately return each of them into your hand. But they can be, but your opponent can stop you from doing that unless they pay 3 life. So it's a way to like make your opponent really think, do I want my opponent to have that card back or not? Because then it slowly dwindles them down. And then the final card that I have in here is Underworld Coinsmith. He has the Constellation effect, which when any enchantment enters the field, including himself, you gain 1 life. So yeah, you gain a life immediately when one of these enters the field or an enchantment enters the field. And he also has a cost, and then he also has an additional effect, which is white and black. Pay 1 white and 1 black. Pay 1 life, and each opponent loses a life. So you pay a life, and then your opponent loses a life. And it's a pretty even effect, since anytime you place an enchantment down the field, you gain a life, so you pay some of that life, and your opponent loses some life. So yeah. So that's my enchantment creature deck. I'm pretty sure it isn't really... I don't really know too much stuff about Magic, so I can't really say if this deck is really good or not. So yeah, any Magic players watching this can tell me if this is good or not. Most likely it's not good, but whatever. So yeah, this is my Magic deck that I have, and the only Magic deck that I have. I'm not sure if I'll get more Magic cards. It all really depends if I want to teach some of my friends Magic, so I like buy them like little decks. So basically that'll be like the only way to really show off any Magic duels, unless I find another person who is comfortable being in the video with me to do a video about Magic. So yeah, that's my enchantment creature black, white, green deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that and me explaining basically almost every single card in this deck. Some of it might have been confusing, especially with the devotion stuff, since I had a very hard time trying to understand that myself. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Enjoyed my Magic deck profile. This is probably will be the only one until I actually get money to buy Magic cards and stuff like that, I guess. Or buy more, yeah, just buy more Magic cards and stuff like that. Yeah. Again, a reminder, I won't be able to do any Magic duels, since no one in my area that I know of plays Magic. Well, I know one person who plays Magic, but I don't know if he'll be willing to be in a video with me. And so yeah. Also, none of my only have really one other friend who plays who knows the rules of Magic at least. So yeah, that's my Magic deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, of course, if you liked it. Tell me what you guys thought below. If you actually know anything about Magic, probably not really, since most people are here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though there's not a lot of you guys yet. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Also, subscribe for more if you like what you see here and like any of my other stuff. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next episode.